Hi guys, day 9, snowing outside, which I absolutely love. Going to try and get some sledging in later. I've had a lot of people contact me and ask me about Google Analytics, so I thought I'd get a geek on today and show you the analytics system and highlight a few bits of the reports that are produced and also talk through some hints and tips.
So here we are. Hopefully you can hear me okay. The snow's smashing on the window outside and the dog behind me doesn't particularly like it. He gets a bit grumbly. Google Analytics is a tracking and reporting system. It's completely free and you just sign up with a standard Google account, and then you can embed a tiny little code onto your website. Now what we're looking at here is my agency dashboard for all the different clients that I work for. If I click on any one of these, and this is the kind of thing that you'll get if you're just running analytics on your own website, you'll get a dashboard and it looks something like this. Some of the bits that I regularly look out for are obviously tracking visitors coming in and out of the site. You can set things like hours or weeks or months, and you can compare one month against another, so you can see whether one month has been busier than another. That's particularly useful for seasonal businesses, property management, holidays, people that sell products towards Christmas, that kind of thing. It's quite useful to be able to see seasonal trends and put that against your cash flow forecasts and use that as a bit of a benchmark. The other interesting bits that are on the standard Google Analytics dashboard, a number of sessions over a period of time. So this is the number of times that someone's actually come to the website, the number of users or visitors, excuse me. Now you see there that there's a difference between the number of visitors and the number of sessions. That would suggest that there have been repeat visits by the same person. The number of page views, so that's where people are actually looking through different pages on the website. You would expect, if there's something attractive or compelling about your website, that a user will go to more than one page. Which then gives you the pages per session number. The session duration is a good indicator. If people are spending more than 30 seconds even on your website, then they're reading things. They're not just hopping onto a page and hopping away again. The bounce rate is the amount of hop in and out. So if someone comes to your website and immediately scarpers, that creates a high percentage bounce rate. If you've got a lower percentage bounce rate, and ideally you want 40% or less, that means that people are actually staying with your website for a period of time. So there's a direct correlation really in user behavior between the pages per session, the amount of time they spend, and the bounce rate. Now, there are lots of other things within Google Analytics that you can use for tracking things like the kind of technology that people are using, whether they're on mobile devices or not. So if we have a look at mobile, for example, I can see here that around about 32% of the visitors to this site are mobile based, 26% are tablet based, and 41% are standard desktop, laptops and PCs, that kind of thing. If I put the mobile and tablet together, I've spoken about this before in other videos, you expect 60–70% of all traffic to websites now to be mobile based, and that's true if you put the mobile and the tablet together. So little handheld devices basically are getting more traction on websites than people using laptops and desktops. Looking down, there are things like user flows, which are quite interesting, big charts like this. You can split these up and display them in different ways, but what it clearly shows is the amount of people that are actually going to, for example, the home page, and that's shown on all the reports by a /. That's normally the home page, and then all the other pages, and you can actually trace people's movements through a website. You can see from the home page which section most of them went to next. You can even track them at an individual level if you want to, but it gives you an idea of how people are moving through your website. And it could be on the home page that you've got a very clear book now or a call to action button. It could be that you've got some promotional slideshows or some pods somewhere on the page that people are attracted to visually, or because there's some call to action text on there and they're following those links through the site. So a little bit like working in a supermarket, which I used to do when I was a kid. It's that thing of putting your offers on the end of the aisles. That idea of using your homepage to actually create some offer or some interest or some little adverts and then get people to click through on those. You can actually see the results by using this user flow method. The acquisition section of the Google Analytics report gives you more the nuts and bolts of how you've been doing with search. So whether it's Google search, whether it's Bing, whether it's Yahoo, whether you've been getting direct links from people. So that would be where people already know your website address. So that could be from brochureware or an advert, or the fact that they've just remembered it or they've got it bookmarked. Social stuff, so you can track things from all the different social media platforms, so Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn and that kind of thing. And referral normally is where a third-party website is linking to you, and that could be that you've done some paid directory advertising. It could be that you've just simply put something in some forum somewhere else, or that someone else has actually bigged you up and put your website link on their content elsewhere. You can drill that data even further in all sorts of different ways. And you can click on any of this data and start to dive into details. And this gives you an idea of the page structures, but also how the traffic's been flowing around, where people are coming from, those things that I mentioned before, the individual bounce rates on things. If you wanted to, you could actually set goals. So you could say, if people go to my contact page and fill in the form, and they then get displayed a thanks for contacting me, you could set that as a goal. It could be that you want to do something more transactional. If you're selling something, you can set goals at the ends of the sales process, and you can track the monetary value. You can set the monetary value of that and track those goals. As people move around the site and do things, you can actually set up some triggers that allow you to track how successful your website actually is with your financial goal. There's an option in there, if you're doing anything with Google AdWords, to actually bolt the AdWords tracking information in. And then there are things like behaviors, which show, bear with me while that loads, show again the overall map of movement through the site, but they also show things like the pages that people hit. So the first page that they hit, and as I say, you would normally expect that to be the / to be the home page, but it could be, if you've been doing advertising or something with Facebook, for example, that you've actually been creating a link that goes to an internal page on the website, or a special landing page, or that kind of thing. So that little bit of the Google Analytics stats reports gives you a good feel for where the traffic's moving, especially if it's coming from an external source, either social or referral. Exit pages is another good one. Again, with the kind of flow chart that we showed, you can see where people leave, and that was shown in the kind of downward red section on those flows. But this is also a really good indicator. If you feel that you're losing people at a certain stage, exit pages shows you what those pages are by percentage. So it could be here, for example, that the home page is losing people. Well, that's something that affects the bounce rate as well, obviously, as I discussed earlier. But there may be other pages on there that aren't working as well as they should be. For example, if you've got a book online page and there's a lot of exit and the bounce rate on that page is particularly high, then perhaps you need to do something on that book online page just to keep people's attention, to make sure they go through the whole process. Now, it could be that you've got a separate booking system on a pop-up or something else embedded, and you can't track it at that point. That's where you'd want to take whatever third-party app or software you're using for the booking system and make sure that the stats that you're getting on your website and the stats that you're getting as people then hit the third-party booking system actually tally up, because you want to know that you're not losing people transactionally at any point. What you can also do, and I do this a lot for client reports, is you can build custom dashboards. And the custom dashboards are a really cool way of seeing things at a glance. And you can do loads and loads and loads. And there are free custom dashboards that you can get from Google's marketplaces, various Google webmaster forums and things like that have got all sorts of different display formats. But if you wanted to have this as your default login kind of report panel, you can actually create this yourself. You can add different segments, effectively different widgets that appear on this actual report. But this is really good as a one-pager at a glance of kind of things that we've already covered off. So where are people coming in, how many are coming in, how long they're spending on the website, the landing pages, the keywords that people are actually using to find you through Google search, for example, the traffic type, so whether it's coming from Google search or Yahoo or Bing, whether it's coming direct on the web address or whether it's coming from another source, breakdown of the social media. And then you get things like the referral sources. As I mentioned, if you are using directory listings or ads online anywhere else, looking at the referral sources gives you a really, really good indication of whether the money that you're spending, assuming you're doing paid directory or ad services with someone else, whether it's actually worth it. You could be paying £300 or £400 a year for a directory listing or a pretty advert on a website, and you find that you're getting hardly any traffic from it. When you look over a period of time at the referral sources, it could be that you're getting more from what you're doing with Facebook than you are from spending £300, £400, £500 on a directory listing somewhere else. So you could actually save money by using these kind of dashboards. What you can also do with these, and I won't go into massive detail, if you're getting a lot of referral spam, which actually pollutes the dashboard, pollutes the reports, you can use filters to actually take out. I'll show you an example of a filter just very quickly. So you can see here there are various options for the kind of plug-in widgets or appearances of each of those sections of this custom report. But you can filter the data and you can say only show me such and such, or don't show this or that, and there are loads and loads of different options. But for example, if I wanted to block a particular website that keeps polluting my report, and it's just a spammer, they're just sending traffic through and it's nothing to do with anything businessy, they're just doing it because they can. You could, for example, set up and say, I don't want to show on my report this full referral, which is basically the third-party website that contains whatever it is. And when you then click save, what the dashboard will do is it will strip any of that sort of content out of your dashboard report, which is really good. It just means that you're looking at a very clean dashboard. There's a lot inside the Google Analytics system. I appreciate it's quite a lot taken if you've not looked at this kind of thing before, but believe me, make sure that your website's got a Google Analytics code embedded on it, which is what's called a UA code. Make sure that that's installed on your website. Make sure that you've got access, if you're a web developer or a hosting company or whatever, your agency, have already got a Google Analytics account set up. They may be issuing you monthly reports, they may not be. And they will probably be exporting them as PDFs from a custom dashboard like this. I would certainly either make sure that you've got your own Google Analytics account set up so you can come and play with this kind of thing. It doesn't hurt the website to come and have a look at what's going on with your visitors and the flow through the site and the kind of technology that's used and whether you're getting more traffic from your paid directories or from your Facebook stuff. But if an agency or someone else is doing it, ask them if you can actually have access to. They can actually grant you access to a Google Analytics read-only report. So you can log in whenever you want and have a play with this stuff rather than waiting for the end of the month. That means that you can move quicker on perhaps changing some things around on the website, or you want to see the results of something that you're doing with Facebook over a period of, say, a week. You're doing a big boosted post or that kind of thing, and you want to see whether it's actually driving traffic at a particular page. All of those kind of things you can get in near real time using the Google Analytics system. If you've got any questions about this, and I'm sure you probably have, please drop me a comment or drop me a private message if you want to do it that way. And I will give you as much steer as I can. I've been using this kind of stuff for years and years and years, and it's very, very useful and very effective with website design, and also it helps you shape the digital marketing. And you could save yourself a few quid. So it's definitely worth having a look. Anyway, thank you for checking in. I will catch you for day 10. I'm going to probably go and do a bit of sledging. Take care, guys.